So we all know that face, don't we? Just carried out a terrorist attack, got sacked. She also, just before that, signed us into PESCO, putting our military under the European control. So whatever's going on with our military in the Ukraine is being ordered by the forces we call the EU. You've got Jeremy Hunt, also rhymes with something else, and he's anti-Brexit. He's in love with Klaus Schwab. He'll do anything he's told, and he looks rather odd as well, a little bit like the one that's in the I'm a Celebrity, showing everybody up because this guy's probably totally military programmed. You know, there's not a thing that's occurred that he didn't cope with. So this guy's not what you think. He's a bit of a chameleon, and they're up to something. They're up to something, so that it's like a Tavistock mind control experiment. I don't know whether they're trying to see if they can gain Stockholm Syndrome by having everybody love the guy that stood there and told you all to jump off a cliff. Of what they're trying to do. It's interesting to, but I know he's mocking everybody in there because he's just so way more intelligent than any of them in there. It's profound, and I've only watched 2 things, so it's not like I'm watching it all the time. So it's interesting. Are they trying to see if they can raise the rabble into a mob? You know, again, there's a mind job experiment going on with this sticking him in there. And whatever else he's tired to go into after, because I think he's going up for some other stuff. Right. World Economic Forum in the background there, and we've got the old Z guy, the smiling one, and we've got that face there with big ears, because them are big ears, I have to say. So it would be British PM Rishi Sunak. So this was just before he took it up. Rishi Sunak's family runs a China-linked World Economic Forum partner company pushing digital ID and social credit scores. So, well, we know that they already have that, don't they? These guys are all about the social score. They're getting the system in. They've got all the know-how of how to implement it, see it working, have it operated, and these guys are here to implement that across the board here. So that's where we're at with this lot. It says former British Finance Minister Rishi Sunak, a front runner to become British next Prime Minister, has family ties to a technology partner of the World Economic Forum that has advocated for a Chinese Communist Party style economy, complete with trackable digital identities and currencies. And this is coming out of the National Pulse, and it was July 16th, 22. Natalie Winters and Raheem J. Kassam. Sunak was who topped the second round of voting Conservative members of Parliament MP in the Tory leadership race on July the 15th, following Boris the Blonde Bombshell's resignation, is widely considered the neoliberal or globalist candidate. So the Privy Council doing a good job there, operating for the billionaire club and ensuring that you will go back into Europe and you will do what Klaus says. Because of course you see Klaus, you see Kissinger. You know, so many of these faces, these fronts, these billionaires, they're just Kissinger selected fronts. All of them. Soros, all of them. You know, Musk, although Elon, What's going on, mate? My bird isn't yet free. I'm still getting, oops, something went wrong. Come on, dude. You're supposed to be releasing the bird. Well, mine's still stuck. She's crying. She wants to get out. The father of Sunak's wife, Akshata Murthy, is the founder of Infosys, and I'm sure you've all heard of that, an Indian information technology company that provides service to a host of Fortune 500 companies and banks. One of the company's leading services is Finacle, a digital banking platform. Murthy remains a foreign citizen with non-dom, i.e. non-tax-paying status, despite her husband's work as Britain's most senior finance chief and expectation of becoming Prime Minister. I'm sure you all know this anyway, but we're just going to have a little look through it because we've another little a leaping lord to have a look at here, because it ties in very well. And as I've said, what we're seeing here now is the Raj, or the British Raj side of the East India Company, or British Empire as they call it today, now operating our political cabinet through the Privy Council. So this lord is exceptionally important. So we'll have a look at this guy in a minute. So it says Infosys is listed as an official partner of the World Economic Forum, whip, hooray, which has been accused of seeking to develop, only accused, the technological infrastructure to implement a global social credit score system. Social credit scores have been used by authoritarian regimes to deny rights, to restrict the movement of individuals who fail to comply with diktats. The World Economic Forum social credit priorities would likely focus on left-wing social issues like wind and rain change and diversity and equity. Yeah, as much equity being, let's just take yours because they've already got it because you're operating on your birth certificate. A Klaus Schwab's candidate. Well, goodness gracious me, they say. Yeah, we're not going to read it all because it's boring. Let's be honest. It's exceptionally boring. And basically, it's just showing you there that he's a complete fruitcake. He's operating for the British Raj. Before the old book script kicked off, I spent about 3 months, and it did my head in, pulling together all the lords and their interests together. And just as I'd finished that and thought I could have rest, bang, the kennel came out. So, not that it mattered to me, of course, but it did to everybody else, which just meant I had free reign. Everywhere I went, it was great. So, I'd put this together. So, obviously, this can be updated as these interests change. Now, we're going to now look. So, a London School of Economics has a lot to do with this as well. But right now, we're looking at one particular lord, a leaping lord, Gadhia. So he works over Sunak. So this guy's your chief Aruni. So he works over Russia on behalf of the Indian Raj side of the British East India Company, and thus empire. One can say with safety that Sunak cabinet is being operated through Indian interests under the Privy Council. Now, of course, I've added that bit today. So, you know, it's like I say, I did this before the book script, and it can be added to. But this is what I was trying to point out, and it was interesting even more so because I put these together on the basis that I wanted to show that so many of these leaping lords had so much interest in the 5G platform, all this digital ID stuff that were going on before the book script. Lo and behold, did I not know. But also in putting this together first, once I did it, I could also, because I'd just gone through it all, recognise that so many of the same leaping lords had massive interests in everything that were to follow from 220. So, you know, we look at Commons, well, we need to just look at the fact that the MPs are just there to do as they're told. It's the cabinet that's important, and it doesn't matter whether it's left or right, middle, sideways, or upside down. The cabinet itself operates for the Privy Council. And of course, the Privy Council now, through and thanks to Tony Blair, getting all these on-shows in there and removing the 26 or 28 C of E bishops that did in the day stop a lot of nasty stuff coming in. So they've took over the Lords, basically. They've put their own in, and that's what they've been doing since 97. And of course, it's those Lords that are fully interested in big ways and beneficiaries of a lot of this stuff that's 5G. Everything we've just looked at was shown at the digital platform, the social credit score platform that China intend to set across the entire world. So, category 1, this is these interests. It says directorships. Director, Callison PLC, own and manage smart meters and other energy infrastructure assets. So this guy that's now running our cabinet on behalf of the Privy Council from the Indian side of the Raj is big into you having smart meters. He's also director of Accord Healthcare, so he's big into the health. Director BGL Holdings Limited and chairman of its subsidiary Compare the Market Limited, interests as chairman Compare the Market Limited, ceased in 2019. His financial products price comparison and distribution, right? So he's already got a big stake in everything going online. Director UK Government Investments Limited. Now what's that? Yeah, UK Government Investments Limited, which we know is a private company anyway, so that's got no relationship to us whatsoever. I pretty much guarantee, apart from fleecing us, one way or another. Probably have outsourced providers going on somewhere in our state that under the bankruptcy modus operandi, the administrators are ensuring they get all the money and we get nothing. And now they've got to up the game. See the video made a couple of weeks ago about the tax take and just watch it. Financial advisor, Intus Pharmaceuticals Limited. There's always an advisor to the pharmaceuticals. Well, I don't see doctor on there. Shareholdings, Intus Pharmaceuticals, category 4 shareholdings. GCO Credit Alpha Fund 2, Townsend RE Global Special Situations Fund, Global Special Situations Fund, Hydroloop. I'll bet you £1 million that's going into Hydroloop, because it all seems to be global risk management operations that this New World Order reset system seems to be under the umbrella of an operation called Hydroloop, which we're going to look at some point in the future. It's rather worrying. It's massive. He's got Tactical Opportunities H Feeder Fund Limited, which is managed by Blackstone, and Erez European Real Estate Fund 5. So he's big into a lot of real estate, this guy. GlaxoSmithKline, another farmer. Ingenious Broadcasting, Triple Point Income VCT PLC. Ingenious Broadcasting, Octopus Titan VCT PLC. Beasley PLC, which is insurance. HSBC Holdings, Universal Banking. Johnson Matthey PLC, which is specialty chemicals. I'll bet. I wonder who's supplying these big pharmaceuticals he's advising. Morgan Sindall Group PLC, Construction Services. Royal Dutch Shell PLC, Oil and Gas. There's his tie to the East Indies. You don't need to look any further. AstraZeneca. I think that's the one that's been causing the most damage. Aviva PLC, so that's your insurance and pensions. BAE Systems. Blackstone Group LP, which is asset management. Blackstone Capital Partners, which is trusts, funds and similar financial entities. Blackstone Energy Partners. Blackstone Real Estate. Blackstone Real Estate Partners V2 LP. Blackstone Real Estate Partners Europe. Blackstone Real Estate Partners Europe again. Blackstone Real Estate Partners Asia. Blackstone Real Estate Debt Strategies. And Blackstone Tactical Opportunities Fund. So this guy's a big boy fixed into the East India companies. BP PLC Oil and Gas. Clearant European Direct Lending Fund, number 1 LP. Compass Group PLC. So a compass is definitely Masonic and relates to the measure of the heavens, whereas the square is it measures in the land, the plane, as it were. So there you've got a bit of an insight there. Down in Renewables, EIS Fund Tranche. Frogmore Real Estate, Glencore PLC, that's mining. Yeah, commodities distribution and trading, so that's more than likely shipping. Howden Joinery, Ingenious Broadcasting. There's 2 of them. Lloyd's Banking Group, National Grid. Now then, see, he's got their fingers and little paws in everything that's fleecing our nation under this corporate bankruptcy system. Osprey Solar Limited, Prudential, Puma VCT9 PLC, which is Equity Investments Instruments, Puma VC10 PLC, Equity Investment Instruments, and Puma VCT12 Equity Investment Instruments again. Tate and Lyle, this guy's massive. This prior's probably Committee of 300, in my opinion. So it looks like the committee. So our nation is now being operated and administered via the Indian side of things. It's no wonder all our steel and industries all went over to the East India branch over there in India. The Go Ahead Group PLC, and that's train and bus service operators. Vodafone, that's the monster behind it all. Verizon, Mobius, Income and Growth. PJT Partners, that's an investment bank. Now Category 5 land and property, residential properties in London, SE1, and London HA6, from which rental income is received, category 10, non-financial interests. Panel member, Sir Oliver Letwin, review of build-out rates, and that's interest ceased in 2019. Oh, I bet he did. They were getting ready for 2020, and all these other investments that he's going to make a fortune. Prime Minister's appointed member, UK-India CEO Forum. So that would have been Theresa May, maybe. I can't remember when Boris got in. Boris. No, it would have either been May or Boris who chose him as that. Member of Vice Chancellor's Circle of Advisors for India. Advisor Advantage Schools Trust, so he's into schools. Category 10, non-financial interest. Member at Memorial Gates Council. Trustee, British Asian Trust. Member of UK Advisory Board, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Member of Advisory Board, City Hindus Network. Member, Young Global Leaders Endowment Fund, Capital Campaign Committee. So, if you remember, Common Purpose are part of that Global Leaders thing that they launched with Blair. So there we go. So that's one big honky, that fella. Lord Gadhia, okay, and he's running this cabinet through Sunak. So he's obviously wanting us back in Europe because otherwise they wouldn't have put Jeremy Hunt in there. So we can see the Privy Council power over this nation now, while we're under bankruptcy, is being operated from the Indian Raj side of the empire. What say you to that, people? Because I'll tell you what, I think that's pretty crap.